Hey guys, so recently I had the pleasure to participate in the beta program for highscore by Renegade Software, and I actually did a review and a tutorial, and today I'm doing an interview with David Molnar, the creator, the man behind highscore. So before we jump to the interview, let me give you a quick overview of what is highscore, how it sounds, and then we'll jump over to the interview. Okay, so this is the main view. This is the generator. We also have a filter view, we have arpeggiator or sequencer, and then we have effects. And in the generator, we have three different wave shapes to combine, and we can actually create chords and things like that. And we have pitch envelope, that's the pitch EG. We have pitch LFO, volume envelope, and volume LFO, as well as noise envelope, and then we also have some general stuff like glide, poly or mono settings, and so on. In the filter section, we have different filters, and we can also attach them to any of the three wave shapes or the noise section. And in the arpeggiator, we can create our own sequences and of course arpeggiate. And finally, we have some effects here. We have just a simple delay or echo, and then we have the speaker simulators, which is pretty cool. So if you want to see everything, you want to hear how it sounds and all that, check my channel for the full review and tutorial. And so let's just jump over straight to the interview. All right, so David, nice to have you here, and I'm really excited about this. I was playing with the highscore, and we had some conversation over the past few months. So maybe go ahead and introduce yourself, and what is it that you do?
Well, thank you for having me, Udi. Well, my name is David Molnar, and I am the founder of Renegade Soundplay. And although I don't sound like it, I am in London. And Renegade Soundplay is, we are makers of music software and applications, soundware. And the first product is highscore, which is a virtual instrument for contact that allows you to recreate the sounds and music of video games and computers from the 1980s.
Wonderful. So now Contact is a sampler, right? So
Yes.
how did you actually get all those sounds? I mean, did you actually sample real consoles?
Sure. Yeah. Actually, a number of the sounds are sampled. All of the SID sounds I sampled off the Commodore 64, off a real Commodore 64. I also sampled a few sounds from an Atari 2600. Some sounds I created myself, actually. Certain pulse waves I created myself because it was just simpler to do that. But other sounds were sampled. And other things that were sampled were all of the speaker simulator sounds. So the speaker simulator is an effect, but it's built into Contact, where Contact has a convolution engine. So basically, I did some speaker sweeps of a Nintendo Game Boy, of a ZX Spectrum, old computer from the 80s, and an old Sony broadcast monitor from the 1980s that
cool.
Actually had its own speaker and amplifier in it. That was the easiest one to do. And I used an instrumentation mic on all these. So for like the little speaker in the Game Boy, here I have this Game Boy set up on my desk, and I had this instrumentation mic a couple feet away from it, and did a sweep on that, and then converted that to an impulse response, and that's how I did all that. What was amazing is after I did the first the Sony 9-inch monitor, I ran the sound system, I ran the output of my mixing board into that, and I played highscore through it, and it had a certain sound to it. And then I did then I just did the sweep of it. Yeah. And converted to an impulse response. And then what happened was I put it into Contact, and because I had the code ready for it to get it all going. I put it in Contact, and I turned it on. I'm like, whoa, that sounds just like it sounded coming through that monitor here in my studio.
Yeah, excellent.
It was very cool.
Yeah, I mean, how did you actually came about to, I mean, to focus on that? I mean, on those old, consoles. I mean, I grew up in the '80s. I mean, for me, that's like a piece of, of childhood. That's,
Well,
I
same
mean, these
here.
are the
Yeah, I've
sounds
always
that I grew up with, and I mean, it's actually, I mean, of course, other than the fact that it's a full featured synth, or some sample based synth, it is a lot of emotions in there. So
yes, yeah. So I've always, loved the old games from back in the day. That's what I grew up with, and I actually enjoy playing those old games from time to time when time permits. And I wanted to come up with something to kind of to recreate that, but all in one package. And I wanted to make it easy for people because just hooking up a Commodore 64, and you could hook MIDI up to a Commodore 64. You can buy a special cartridge, and there's nothing easy about using that
yeah.
and working with that. And you get one sound at a time. And so I wanted to make something easy to bring all these sounds together in one place for people to use.
Right. So, I mean, I had few conversations, with friends and sound designers, and many times people look for those special retro sounds for even modern production, and I mean, even
Sure.
game sounds. That I mean, I had one guy that was developing like. Games applications for phones, whatever. Anyway, he was looking for that chip tones, and for that 8 bits, and that was kind of a challenge for him. So I just point him to those, to high score, and that was a big, a big win. I mean, having all those sounds ready for sound design, that's just wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things I really wanted to focus on when I made High Score was, I made the synth engine. I put it all together inside Contact, and I have all the raw waveforms in there, and the effects, and the sequencer for the step arpeggiator. But I really wanted to make it easy right out of the box. So one of the things I spent a lot of time was putting together the library of presets, so you can just get going right off the bat when you launch High Score. It's got so many presets in it.
Absolutely. So I really enjoyed, the randomization feature, because you
Oh
you can
yeah.
start with anything, and then go crazy, and get surprised by whatever comes. So it's really, really cool feature, and it always brings something you didn't think about. I really love it.
Yeah. So I did two types of randomizers, and one was randomized by category. And that came about because when I first put a randomizer in there and I just randomized everything, and it came up with some very cool sounds, but they weren't necessarily very kind of retro 80s video gamey sound.
Right.
Yeah.
A little bit about your background, how you came about, doing that. Is it something you always done? Is it something, that you've
Sure.
studied?
Yeah.
How,
I've been doing music and audio products for my entire career. And right out of university, my first job was working for a company designing digital church organs. And I worked for like 8 years. And then after that, 1999, I went to go work for Line 6 in California. And I worked for them for 13 years. Yeah. And great place, by the way, to work. And I did a lot of products there. And I did mostly hardware while working there. So a lot of the pod products I worked on, all of that stuff.
that's so cool.
Yeah, thank you. And then after that, I went and worked for Moog Music, and I worked for them for a while. And then it was time for a change. And my wife and I decided we wanted to relocate someplace different. So we moved to London back in 2016, the very end of 2016, we moved to London. And here we are, stuck during lockdown. It was time for
like everybody else.
New.
So
yeah, so I
if you're
created
watching
Renegade
this video,
Soundplay.
if you're watching this video, in the future where there's no lockdown and coronavirus is all gone,
yeah,
and that's really.
Sorry, my doggy was coming in.
No worries. So it's all good.
Let me close this
You're
door.
Amongst friends here.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are doing this interview while in the middle. Some people think it's towards the end. I think we're not really close to the end.
I don't think, even though the vaccine is out and being used and distributed right now, and it's I don't know how many months out before I get it. Yeah, it'll be a while. Yeah.
So, what's the plans for the future? I mean, any features that you're planning to add to highscore?
Yes.
Any other products? I mean, you don't have to tell me that if you have a secret product coming up, but feel free to give us a little bit of a heads up here.
So highscore, I just came out with the first preset pack for highscore, which is an add-on pack. And I've got a few preset packs in mind. They're going to be coming out over the next few months. So the first one just came out, the Super Retro preset pack. And that adds an additional 50 presets that are just ready to use. And it's a mix of presets. The next preset pack is going to be a kind of drum and percussion preset pack. And it's going to have, it'll primarily be drum and percussion loops that'll be done using the built-in sequencer, the step arpeggiator, and ready to use right off the bat as well. I'm not sure after that what the next preset packs are going to be. I was thinking of some kind of modern sound or a synthwave pack or something like that. I'm not sure yet. Probably a synthwave pack for highscore, because again, it's a general purpose. Aside from the fact that a lot of sounds were sampled from all these places, and then it's tailored toward video game sounds, classic video game sounds. It can work as a general purpose synthesizer.
Oh, absolutely. Some very useful sounds. For any genre, for anything.
So I think we'll do I'm going to do a synthwave pack after the drum and percussion pack. And then after that, I've got some other products that I'm going to be working on, which I don't want to talk about just yet.
But
as far as the future of highscore goes, there are a few features that didn't make it in the first go around, and I could have been putting features in forever in highscore, but I had to just stop and I had to release it and get it out there.
Right.
So one of the things I want to add is drum kits. So I want to actually sample a bunch of drum sounds, but sample them through classic hardware. So for instance, I want to sample through the Game Boy.
Oh, wonderful.
And so you can get that. So that'll be probably more 4-bit sounds actually. And also through a classic Amiga. I want to sample a bunch of sounds and put together some drum kits, some 8-bit drum kits. So it'll have that very kind of 8-bit lo-fi effect on them. And then the drums will just be mapped across the keyboard, and I'll probably have one or two, depending upon how many sounds I come up with. One or two, it'll occupy one or two waveform slots in highscore.
Wonderful.
So that's probably the major thing I want to do first. There's a couple other things that I want to put in there. I want to do some additional changes. I was thinking of extending the envelope generator to add the hold function in there between the attack and the decay. That's not in there now, but there's no room on the panel to do that. But I can't, originally this was going to come out for Contact 5, and that whole thing changed when I partnered with Native Instruments to use their Contact player. Right. So now it's Contact 6, and they extended the width of the panel size. So I can add more controls. I just have to like redo the
I mean,
graphics.
the possibilities are endless. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you can take ideas from anywhere. I mean,
Oh yeah. So I want to do a few
always.
things like that. I want to add some FM sounds into there as well. Now I can't actually do FM synthesis in Contact as
Right.
much as I would like. As much as I would like to be able to do that. And actually, you know, if Native Instruments would raise the speed of the LFO,
Mhm.
I could probably fake it. If they could raise the speed of the LFO up into the audio, up above, you know, into the audio band, higher up, I
Right.
could probably fake it. But in fact, I just got this
Oh,
Mega Drive.
what is that?
Let's hold this. Yeah, that's the right way. That is a Sega Mega Drive.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So, which has an FM chip in it. So, I think I'll be sampling some specific tones out of that can then be shaped through the highscore sound engine in Contact. So I'll probably be adding a bunch of sounds from that in there.
Right. So
Yeah. So there'll be more waves. So think more waveforms, and again, more. You know, when the next version of highscore comes out, it'll have more presets added to it, more preset packs over time as well. But lots to do.
all right. So I mean, looking forward to everything. And guys, if you're watching this and you're wondering what is highscore, then check my channel for the review. And of course, I'll put the link to Renegade Soundplay, and you're most welcome to visit the the website and check out highscore. And if you have any question at all, you can contact myself directly, through Facebook or any social media. I'm always available, and you can definitely contact Renegade Soundware through their website, and they'll get back to you, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, David. So thank you so much for taking the time, joining me here for this
thank you,
interview.
Udi.
I'm really excited. So again, a lot of luck, good luck, and good health, and hopefully we'll get through these crazy times with
Same to you,
more
yeah.
products, right?
Yeah.
So I'll see you soon online, and in Facebook and anywhere. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye.